Hello, this video is brought to you by my patrons over on Patreon. Minasan, arigatou gozaimasu. My name is Kurt, and this is my daily good life meditation, an exercise that I do every morning a little bit after waking up. It's now 4:43 a.m. I do this to remember my life objectives and principles, those which are outlined in my book, Going Alone. You can get a copy at the link above if you like. And if you don't see a link, there's one down in the description. I also use this time to think about the last 24 hours and how I did with the challenges and opportunities I met. I prepare for the coming day, I ready myself for death, and then I sign off and get started with the day in earnest. But before I do any of that, I like to kick things off with a nice poem. Back with John Keats, I'm going to read a poem called To Sleep. It's a short poem. At first I didn't like it. At first I read it and it felt sometimes some poets' poems just don't ring. And then I got to the last few lines and it opened up to me and I had to go back and read it again. And I go, oh, this is a good one. Here we go. To Sleep. O soft embalmer of the still midnight, shutting with careful fingers and benign our gloom-pleased eyes, embowered from the light, shaded in forgetfulness divine. O soothest sleep, if so it please thee, close in midst of thine hymn my willing eyes, or wait the Amen ere thy poppy throws around my bed its lulling charities. Then save me, or the past day will shine upon my pillow, breeding many woes. Save me from curious conscience that still hoards its strength for darkness, burrowing like the mole. Turn the key deftly in the oiled wards, and seal the hushed casket of my soul. See, it's really not just the last bit, it's the last half, last 1/3 of the poem. Then save me, or the past day will shine upon my pillow, breeding many woes. Haven't we all been there? Save me from the curious conscience that still hoards its strength for darkness, burrowing like the mole. Turn the key deftly in the oiled wards and seal the hushed casket of my soul. Let's try the whole thing once more from the start. Sometimes it takes a couple of runs to get it down. To sleep. O soft embalmer of the still midnight, shutting with careful fingers and benign our gloom-pleased eyes, embowered from the light, shaded in forgetfulness divine. O soothest sleep, if so it please thee, close in midst of this thine hymn my willing eyes, or wait the Amen ere thy poppy throws around my bed its lulling charities. Then save me, or the past day will shine upon my pillow, breeding many woes. Save me from curious conscience that still hoards its darkness, its strength for darkness, burrowing like the mole. Turn the key deftly in the oiled wards and seal the hushed casket of my soul. Mine isn't that kind of haunting. Mine is a haunting that comes in the wee hours. Not so much anymore. A little bit yesterday. Slept well last night. It's okay, so let's talk about yesterday and last night. Slept well last night, like I said. Yesterday was a tough day, although, remember I talk about climbing a mountain every day? My mountain for the day, I climbed it yesterday. Climbed it well. Although my own thoughts practically convinced me into a failure. Driving to work yesterday, I got it in my head, a scheme to do something different that would have been ridiculous. Fortunately, By the time I arrived in the parking lot, parking the car, I woke up all the way out, all hour, 50 odd minutes, hour long drive out. I was scheming this ridiculous idea that sounded really good on paper. And then I got to the parking lot. I said, "This is stupid, Kurt. What are you, 21? Idiot. Enough of this nonsense." And I got back on the correct plan. I aligned myself properly with what the expectations are. And it went really well. Thank God I matured up in the last second there. I guess I would have to call that other thing a dream of sorts, kind of to relieve steam and pressure. I was very frustrated the last 48 hours, very unhappy with work, wanting to leave, fantasizing about retiring or even, getting fired. I did fantasize about that too. I thought, well, if I just get fired, then that's a way out too. Then I don't have to make the choice. This will pass. The thing that was hardest about yesterday, though, and remember, all things are relative. I mean, Bob, 2 doors down, that's hard. What's going on with Bob? What Angela's got to deal with is hard. So many other people have to deal with is really hard. This stuff is relative. I'd keep that in mind. I'm keeping that in mind. I'm not forgetting that. But the hardest part yesterday was just the utter fatigue of going to work. I'm so out of practice going and spending the whole day at the office. And I didn't even get lunch. Just the way the things went down, and that really screwed me up. Just, my biology or whatever you call it, my system. By the time I got home, I just felt like crap. And I took a long walk with Yumiko, which helped a little bit. Finally, the thing that really brought me back to life, kind of, and I'm still not back to life fully now, was Yumiko decided for dinner to make Japanese breakfast, which is very hearty and full and fortifying, and that made me feel better, about 80% better. And then I went to sleep. And now I'm so again. I need a good hearty breakfast. Not a good hearty breakfast. I need a nice bowl of oatmeal this morning. A good glass of water. Tough last 48 hours. But I got through it. I got through the end of this big enterprise project. Now I can move on to my new project at hand. Big project, important project, but manageable, by far more manageable. But I'm tired. I got things to do today too. I'll get to that. Let's do the good life. 8 objectives. To be always ready to die. To make good and effective use of my time. To develop and maintain good and sound life principles. To cultivate good emotional reactions. To perform good actions. To recognize my true limits and my true opportunities. To do just one thing at a time, and do that thing slowly and deliberately and carefully, and to keep my balance. Now my 35 principles are: war, reason, homunculus, anchor hold, home of good and evil, purpose, atomic principle, principle of nature, the pirate ride, maturity, social principle, principle of family, temperance, life will not go well, the horror show, that which must be born, the feast of woeful, distraction, agency in the great indifference, the best seat in the house, the restless man, the path of wildness, the great life adventure, the risk of avoiding risk, sin and damnation, complete oblivion, the season of philosophy, script writing, the bullseye aim, the uphill climb, arena and utility, nothing is enough, principle of fun, and being ready. So look, I got them all. A little bit of a pause between complete oblivion and the season of philosophy. One of my tough spots in the recitation of the creed which is in my book, Going Alone, in the chapter titled The Good Life. Okay, for today, I'm going to do all my morning stuff, feed the dogs, feed myself, get to it, work on a few things. I have to send, my mountain to climb is to send out 2 books today to Patreon, to my Patreon supporters. Everyone that, I promised myself I wouldn't say that. Yeah, I'm going to send the books to my 2 of my 4 Patreon supporters. The other 2 already have copies, but I'll send you new copies as well if you like. Planning to, glad to. Thank you for your support. That's my mountain to climb today. That's the thing I'm going to do. Maybe I'll try to squeeze in a haircut too, if I can, and continue wrapping up some of my videos on Abandoned Japan. I'm cleaning up the descriptions. Oh, and I have 2 meetings going on today. I'm meeting Mark to talk about Japan, and I'm meeting with Teddy to talk about a presentation on AI that I'm going to do for her group. Still interested in the AI thing. I use the damn thing all the time, every day, everything I do practically now these days is touched by AI. I don't talk about it as much. It's just become a routine part of my life. And I'm still strongly interested in it, and I'm happy to do presentations on it, on the subject. I think that's it. Am I ready to die? Are my affairs in order? Yes. Are my relationships sound? Yes. Is my life's work done? Yes. My daughter's grown and my book is writ. I'm ready to die. I can be swept into the sea without a single backward glance now. What a thought. I'll leave it at that. Be safe, but not too safe. Take care.